What's going on, folks? Yours truly here, Papa Goat, aka Mr. American Dream. Today we have the one and only Loudwine is in the house. As you know, every first Wednesday we're gonna have a conversation about relationship. Today she has no idea what I'm gonna ask her again. So, like always, the show will start right after this. All right. Welcome back, Ludwin. How you feeling today, man? How you doing?
I'm feeling I'm feeling good. I'm feeling refreshed. I'm lavish him, I'm feeling good.
Mes amis, ou gen le pa we cheve a fonti bay a kote pou yo kawe natural beauty. Mes amis, attention. Men moun yo,
Men moun
papa.
yo. I
Ok.
got edges. I got
Oh. So, en bas perik
Oui,
la te gen pile bagay.
oui, d'accord. Pas tête courte.
Ou pa tèt, ou pa ki jan la kamwe le tèt gridap. Ou pa tèt gridap. So welcome to the
No,
show. It's always a pleasure to have you. It's always a good time here every first Wednesday to have you. So for those who's gonna be watching the show for the first time, tell them a little bit about yourself, who you are, what do you do.
mes amis, tout bagay, everything somebody, oui. Hello. Um, Hi, my name is Ludwine. I am a serial entrepreneur.
Cereal.
Uh, that's the word for it now.
Yep.
um, I help people fixing their credit and rebuild their financial structure. Basically means I help people when it comes to budgeting, learning about investing, learning how to protect their families with life insurance, and also with health insurance. I also help retirees figure out retirement and also their health insurance as well. And I also have a radio show on 98.5 every Saturday night at 7 called On the Record Radio. Soon to be on Dash Radio too. So
Cool.
excited about that. What else do I do? Oh, I am the events chair for the Greater Haitian Chamber,
By the
Greater
way,
Haitian American.
congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you. But yes, it always trips me to say the whole thing. Greater Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, Orlando.
It's like a whole sentence.
It is, but short as GAC.
That's pretty cool. So for anybody who want to reach out to you, how do they reach out to you? Before we start the show, I want to get this out the way.
Yes. Everything is pretty much centralized in my Instagram. I try to keep it all in there, but in my bio, I have all my other pages and everything that I do. So follow me on Instagram. Is at I am Ludwin. I am Ludwin. The letter A, the letter M, Ludwin. Make it simple. Follow me on there. That's why I post everything. Help me get to 10,000 people. I got 50 people left.
50
It in
people left.
these 50.
Hey, go over there, man. Everybody that's listening to this, share it with your mama, your grandma, your grandpa. Get on their phone and create an Instagram account. Make it legit, though. Make it legit. 50 people to
Yes.
10,000. Congrats. That's a big
I,
deal, man.
I swear. Oh my gosh. It's been 6 years coming. Normally, it doesn't take this long. I did take a 3-year hiatus from Instagram and I started going back. Like, I got stuck at 8,200. And then in the last 3 months, I got to 99.49. So,
So it's like, hurry up already. Somebody, anybody, right?
yes.
No, we gotta make sure you get these other people on there. We gotta get this ASAP. Okay. Once again,
Yes.
congratulations. It's always a pleasure having you here. Now we're gonna get right into it. Today we're gonna spend about maybe 20, 25 minutes left because she has another show right after this, which by the way, on the record radio, the show is very fun. So I highly recommend you actually, tune in Me and my wife, we actually sat and
Wait,
watched a whole episode with the other show you have on Facebook. What right after this? What is this one?
that show is called Zo Fresh 101.
Zo Fresh 101. Et pas ande pas de papa good. Okay? That's a lot of
On the
fun, man.
record, is on
It's
Saturdays.
Saturdays. Yeah, Saturday.
The one today is Zo Fresh 101.
Zo Fresh 101. Yeah, I have a lot of fun in that studio, man. I watched
Oh,
the
too
whole
much
episode last time.
sometimes.
A little bit too much fun, right? But anyway, welcome to the show again. For those of you who's watching, welcome back. If this is your first time, we here every first Wednesday, and really just to talk about relationships. My name is James Dennis here, aka Mr. American Dream. They call me Papa Goat. You know, I have a couple names, but anyway, today we're just gonna get right into it. Ask a couple questions about relationships, and I have them here. She has no idea what I'm going to ask her yet,
Oh,
right? No idea.
so
But
nervous. I'm so
oh, please, avec
nervous.
nervous. Ah, ou même ou nervous.
I
Okay,
shouldn't be, right? I shouldn't
you shouldn't
be.
be. So the first question is, right, and it's kind of like a left question. Do you think spiritual is being spiritual is important in a relationship with a partner, and why? Mbadzul.
Mm. Okay, so I'm happy you said spiritual and not religious.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because those are two different things, and I hope people understand that.
100%.
Yes, I do believe that we should have a belief system. Now, you may some couples may not have the same belief system, and it may cause a conflicts in the household because it would also vary on how you want to raise your children to grow up with a particular belief. Now, me personally, I have studied many religions, and they all tend to say about the same thing. So, um, I'd like to say I'm not a Christian, but I also believe in God. Um, I'm not religious, let me say that. So, same, I, it would be best to be both spiritual, believing in God at least. You may be Pentecostal or non-denominational or Methodist, doesn't matter. As long as you believe in God, that's okay with me.
So, I mean, you mentioned something that's pretty important. Do you think it could be a big challenge if somebody's like, one is spiritual and the other one is not, or one is religious, the other one is not?
For me, studying the different religions out here, I don't think it will make a huge difference unless the person is completely atheist.
Okay. Well, I would like for you to say a little bit more on that. Why?
Because most religions mostly talk about either self-preservation or um, not doing harm to yourself and to others. Most of them are really about the same. Love other people, respect other people, don't cheat on your wife, should be common sense. Don't harm others. Um, with the monks, they always into oneself, staying calm, staying in one mindset with love, with emitting the energy of love. That's always about the same thing with Jesus. Jesus is love. If he lives inside of me, I should also operate in the same manner, be like Christ. All these different things are about the same. With Buddhism, it's about almost about the same too, where they don't really try to go into um, you have to go to church a certain way, but they believe in a forgiving lifestyle. They believe in a peaceful lifestyle. They're all about the same in the
Kind
long
of like
run. They may most religions have God in different names,
okay, and
except Buddhism.
except Buddhism. Okay, that could be a whole like that could be a whole subject on its own. You know, which
Mm-hmm.
is pretty cool. And I'm not gonna dive into it, but I think maybe in the future, I would love to actually maybe dive in a little bit deeper on that because that could be a very very interesting one.
Mhm.
For the sake of time, I'm gonna move to the other question, which, by the way, I think is a great answer. And you say you study a lot of religions. Anyway, let's just leave it as that because I don't want to put my 2 cents on there. So the
Yeah,
next question I have, go ahead.
I was going to say, you know how Christian parents or Haitian parents, they raise you in the church for the most part,
Hmm.
and they choose for you at a young age. But I believe once you become an adult, you have the option to choose, or to either stay as a Christian or really figure out, is this what I want to do? So I decided to do the research and figure out why why am I praising God? Why should I be praising God? Why is he the only person I should be? And then I took it upon myself to really figure out other nations and also their religion, and why we all don't believe in the same thing. But I find out we all believe in the same thing.
I
It's
mean,
just different ways of how they were raised. So that's how I feel like everyone should have the choice to really figure out, do you really want to be a Christian or should you be something else?
but when it comes to a relationship, though, how do you think that affect? Like, say I'm Christian and I marry a Muslim. How do you think that will affect the relationship?
It would affect relationship because of religion practices.
Okay, fair enough.
Belief
Fair enough.
system are mostly about the same, but I believe the other culture, they pray at certain times during the day. They dress a certain way. They wouldn't be at an actual church. It's different different customs. So it may vary in a household where you may not. He if I'm the other religion, my husband is Christian. If I don't go to his church, he might resent me after a while. So that's where I say it would differ.
Mm. Okay, well, I mean, with that kind of lead me to the other question. That wasn't my next question, but I think you'll fit right in. So, how do you define relationship? And what does it mean, like in your mind? What does that really mean?
A relationship is where two people agree to be together and have a path together.
So that's what it
That's
means to you.
simple.
Is that
That's what it
simple?
means to.
So, c'est
It
c'est
is
simple
that
comme
simple.
ça. Por que ça nous gourmet? Like,
No, because people be having different paths that they want to go on, or like the path don't align, or like they can't be side by side. So that's how it normally doesn't work.
and why do you think that is?
Um, People don't take time to get to know the other person and figure out like their goals in life and see if they align with theirs. And the next thing you know, they start regretting choosing the person and wasting their time.
Mm. Do you
I'll,
think you probably
I'll
have?
give an
Go
example.
ahead.
I'll give an example. Like I was talking to somebody, and the more I asked question, he said he wanted to be a comedian and be on the road. And if I'm looking to be married, that's not gonna work.
True.
I don't, I don't want to be a husband on the road, making women hee hee ha ha. No. So you get what
you know,
I'm saying?
you know what you remind me? I would say what you remind me, man. And my wife is watching this, so and if you didn't know what I'm going to say now, you're going to know. Okay. Okay. Don't judge me, anybody watching this. Once again, so I used to be a rapper. Okay. Ooh,
Ooh.
hey, hey. Got it, wait.
Halim,
So,
Halim do, Halim,
follow,
Halim
got
does.
it, So, my wife, she was secretly praying. That was like before I got married. She was secretly praying that I didn't make it. But I was getting really good at this stuff. So she started getting scared. She was a little scared. So it kind of makes sense.
Wow.
Like if you truly wanna who just put that laughing face? Somebody laugh at me on Facebook. I don't like that. I'm actually gonna find out who you are. I'm gonna come for you, okay? But I mean, just to go back to what you said, it makes sense because if you really want to build a family, you want that, relationship, and you want your husband or your spouse to stay close to you, you know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you love the person, but is it a really good idea to be on the road all the time? I guess it
Right.
depends on the person, based on the person would determine what type of sacrifice they're willing to make, you know, which is
So
pretty cool.
some women are okay with that. I'm not.
You're not.
And I had to make the tough decision to let him go.
Really? And did he, I mean, just curious, did he follow his dreams?
He's still following his dream. Yeah,
Is he away on the road right now?
I know.
I mean, we'll take off one Titan, put it away. What?
No,
No, not really.
I don't believe it. I don't believe in wasting people's time, especially my time.
Tiffy, have pas du temps.
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. So bring to the next question because we're running really low on time. I think we have like probably less than. Oh, okay. We have like 13 minutes. All right. So the next question
We
to,
we
huh?
can last till 9 o'clock. You'll be fine.
Are you sure? Because I
Yes,
was trying to give you time to actually. Okay, cool. All right. Now
I'm already here.
you already hear that, so you don't have to get there. So you just have to like turn around or go to the other room and
Go to
you
the next room.
to the next room. Okay, cool. So now talking about you know, potentially being in a relationship and the person was gonna away and you find out that wasn't gonna work for you. So we're just gonna talk about love. Personally, have you ever been in love? And if you have, or if someone has, how do they know? How do you know you actually in love?
Mm.
Moun kap gade sa yo, sou te pan sel te in love. Atensyon, mpoko kon repons la.
Um, I I was in love. Mm, how do you know when you're in love? I know when you're in love when I'm willing to make certain sacrifices for my partner for their well-being.
Okay, elaborate.
So instead of me being selfish, I start thinking about how can I make their life better.
Mm, okay. Palavem, example. That's pretty good. I like that.
um, I'll give an example.
Hmm.
I was I was with somebody a long time. Ti garçon they want to job. He used to work with a company that built parking garages, and I think they were building. I think they were like they were somewhere. I want to say Fort Lauderdale. They were building one, and then he happened to fell off um, Echelio. What do you call
Hmm.
that? Ladder. He
Hmm.
fell off the ladder and broke his ankle, and he wouldn't be able to drive back home. So I got on the megabus, went to Miami, went to pick him up, and I drove back to Orlando with him, and then took him to urgent care a couple of times for that. So I would say that's a sacrifice that I had to make. Give me a second. Open the
Hmm.
door for somebody.
Okay.
'Cause I want to make sure like I care about their well being.
So care about the well-being. You think that's like kind of like an alliance with you being in love? Because I feel like, I mean, I don't know if the if I'm dating that person, that'll be like a time of need. But would that really symbolize like a sacrifice of you being in love, though?
Yeah, cause like I mean, there's some exes I want to do that for.
Why shit Z? Mm.
Mm-mm,
Straight up.
mm-mm, mm-mm, straight up.
Oh
Mm.
Lord. So
Dapat zuko sa ebe bangunin 911 po.
chérie
That's
rete là.
different.
Ma pour le 911 pour.
Oui.
Ma pour long
Ou
Uber
pa
we
gen
gonna.
ou pa gen fami Miami. Rele ou pou wè se ka vidwa.
Oh my god. Oh Lord. Bon. Ah ben. That's I mean, I would take that. But I guess to
Hmm.
me, I feel like that would be a responsibility. However, though, it all depends because we're not the same person, you know? So you see things a
Hmm.
different way, but that is an act of love. Um, so have you ever like I'm gonna follow this. I'm gonna follow with another question. Have you ever thought you was in love, but you find that it wasn't really true? You was never in love. It was just lust or something else. And how did you find out that?
Mm, I found out he was cheating on me.
Jésus, papa. Ou va bien nous ba nous détails,
Hmm.
mais ou ka mette le feisty, pas un problème.
I mean, at the time, I was really hurt, but uh, I think okay, this happened in 2013. So I was about 23, and when I think at 28, I took a look at my past, and I said, "Was I really in love, or was it just good sex?" And I think it was just good sex.
That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, le ciel. So, which
I,
mean, ça t'est passé dans mind nou, t'as cool t'es accompli vision and you thought you was actually in love.
yeah, because like okay, so I had to think about this. So if I'm looking to be a better person or a better woman to my next partner, I had to review my exes and see like how where I went wrong and how to not repeat the same thing. And when I reviewed that relationship, I was like, we didn't really go out like that. I was like, we didn't really do much. So was I really in love? So
So, you,
that's what I
you came to that
yeah.
conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Ah ben, fair enough. Alors, gen an pil moun, sa ke m di sa, gen an pil moun koun ya la, I don't think you vraiment kompran ki sa l'amour ye, like the love, you know. I'll just give you my own definition of it. Um, Love is everything that's beautiful and ugly at the same time, and you're willing to accept the ugliness and the beautiful. So let me elaborate a little bit. Over 50% of marriages end up in divorce in America. Over 50, right?
That's a lot.
So when you look at the number, and I don't want even want to get what percentage is, our people. But when you look at the numbers, it's like I love 50% of people love the prettiness of a relationship or marriage. But when it gets ugly, then you have the other 50%.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, just to put it in my own word right now, is that we a lot of time let our body and emotion carry us. And then we find this partner we're attracted to, and all of a sudden we think we're in love, and really it's just like your mind is in a different place, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I always ask myself, um, I'm always telling myself, people should ask themselves if the sex wasn't there, if the money wasn't there, if the health wasn't there, if the job or whatever wasn't there, would you still be with that person? Me, thinking of my wife right now, absolutely. Absolutely 100%. I've seen her through some dark time, and I've seen her at some of her best time of her life. I love them both. The happiness part, I get to experience the joy and create memory. The dark part, I get to see how strong I am and how much I can sustain. You know, so the bad things, I feel like should be the road for you to grow in a relationship, not for you to find a way out. And I was watching a pastor as well. Very this black guy. What's his name? I forget. He's very young, and he said the concept of dating is like practicing divorce. I don't know if you saw that because he was all over the internet. And when he went and explained it, he says, okay, you're literally trying things out. You're trying different girls and whatever as a young man. And when things don't work out, you just walk out. So you literally practicing divorce.
Mm.
So by the time you actually get in a marriage with somebody, then when things get worse, you already create that habit to kind of like walk out. How do you feel about
Mm-hmm.
that? How do you feel about
About
it?
walking out.
No, how do you feel about what he just said? It's like you're practicing divorce, and when things get tough, you kind of walk out. And yeah, I just want to know how you feel about that.
I I get his rhetoric.
Hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily go as far as practicing divorce. I would say those people lack communication skills because a lot of times people like to move on so quickly, and sometimes they even ghost the person without even letting them know why they don't want to talk to them anymore. So a lot of times I wouldn't call those people adults. They're still childish in their mindset. So when someone is just testing out people, just going through women to women to women to women to women, there's something that they haven't dealt with internally for to make them move through women like that. Those people need therapy, and if they're not staying long enough with someone, there's something that's making them say, you know what, you're not good enough, or they may feel like I'm not good enough for that person, so let me find the next person. And by moving on so quickly, by the time they're full body adult age,
Hmm.
not fully an adult, when they get married, they're also quick to leave because they never got a chance to have a full blown relationship to where they know how to effectively communicate in the relationship. So people that get divorced, I would say most of the time is because they don't know how to communicate their problems, or they held it in. They start lashing out with their words. They start hiding things from their spouse. They start doing childish stuff when they shouldn't have. But they wouldn't be divorcing if they didn't practice those things in actual relationship before getting married.
So you kind of somewhat agree.
I don't agree.
You somewhat agree because at the end of it, you say practicing the same thing I just said.
No, no, no. What I'm saying is they haven't practiced being in a relationship.
Oh, okay, okay, got it.
So if they don't go through enough relationships or long lasting relationships, then they wouldn't be having a divorce. So I wouldn't say they're practicing divorce.
Mm. Hmm. Okay. So getting to know, and I think you hit it right on point when you said there is something they haven't dealt internally with themselves. So I'm a pro. I'm a big advocate of if you don't know yourself or love yourself and know how to respect or appreciate yourself, how can you do that for someone else? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to that, I think it's a big issue we have now in society where people, well, let me just say, most people would rather spend time with other people than to spend time alone. I promise you, some people would probably go crazy if they're by themselves. They're like, holy I don't know what to do with myself right now because they don't have anyone
Mm-hmm.
to act socially with. It's, oh my God.
That's also some sort of trauma as well. Possibly childhood trauma.
What do you say that?
Family member was not around, so they had to keep somebody around to make themselves feel safe. They weren't safe as a kid.
Ah, mon cher, nous allons pour une classe psychologie là. That makes sense. So you think that would actually play out into that?
Mhm.
Interesting. I never look at it this way.
I also read somewhere that someone's love language is something that they were missing as a child as well.
Hmm. Oh, oh, bon, mbal fonti study. Chérie. I got you. I got you. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I feel like people should really take the time to themselves. And you said something earlier. Get counseling. You know, I feel like that's something that's really missing in our community. And it's not wait until things that get bad to get counsel. Is to get get some counsel to deal with some of the stuff that you're internally personally dealing with.
Hmm.
So which, by the way, any question you have, you can actually put in the box and we'll go ahead and interact with you. But tell you the truth, that's the last question I have for you. So when it comes
I
to
want
the
to elaborate.
you what? You want to elaborate? Oh, I would love to. Go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, petit parlez, 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 no.
I can tell when someone have internal issues when they tell me their love language is words of affirmation.
Talk to me. Oh, would you happy elaborate? Mr. Tande, I want to hear
They
that. That's
they usually have self-esteem issues
self-esteem.
because yes, words of affirmation basically means tell me good things about myself. I like to hear words to make me feel good. That means I'm not internally feeling good about myself that I have to hear those words from somebody else. There is complimenting your partner, and then there's also glorifying your partner. That's usually what words of affirmation is constantly glorifying your partner, making them feel secure all the time with your words. And if you have to rely on somebody else's word to make you feel good, that's a problem.
Hmm. And if somebody was to detect that, what would you say or encourage someone like that to do?
I would definitely encourage them to speak to a licensed professional because if you that creates a constant need of your partner to always tell you good things about yourself, and that can get annoying to the other partner because now I'm responsible to make you happy. I don't want to be that. I don't want to have that much responsibility on myself as a partner to always constantly pour into you. But who's going to pour into me?
Jesus?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm just playing.
Like if I have to constantly say, "You are handsome. I believe in you. You got this," or like, "You are the most like I love your beard. I love how tall you are. You are so amazing." After a while, I'm about to be like, "All right, bro. Like, you should know this by now."
I've been saying it for the past 3 years.
Right? You don't believe in yourself right now,
Some wrong.
So, right. It's either like their parents were not that talkative to them when they were younger, their parents were absent when they were younger, or their parents were not that affectionate when they were younger. So that missing puzzle piece, they will always want it from somebody else. They will
Hmm.
always want that. And same thing for physical touch. Parents didn't hug them enough. Parents didn't like hold their hands enough. That's why like some people like that they like PDA. They always want to be all touchy feely in their partner because they didn't get that when they were younger, or their parents were absent. Same thing. That they didn't receive that kind of love as a young kid, so they would want it so much from the partner. People that like physical touch, they tend to say two ways. They like to be rubbed on, or hugged, or sex. And when I said earlier, if the person is going from person to person to person, that means they didn't feel that love constantly from their parents when they were younger. So they want to feel that love all the time from somebody else, even if it's temporary. And when it's temporary like that, it's because they have a fear that this person might leave them. So they leave before they leave them. They don't continue to stay with them because they always have this fear. That can also mean that they have abandonment issues. And when you, I'm sorry.
Well, parlez, petite, parlez.
So whenever you start seeing these signs into yourself, then I would say definitely speak to a licensed professional because they can help you decipher why you like this. At what point did your parents leave your I mean, it may not be just a regular they left you. It may just be their parents died at a young age, you know? It may be circumstantial like that. But the effect is still the same.
Hmm. So let me ask you: do you have a couple people that you've experienced that was close to you? Is that how you know it, or you just learn it by reading the five love languages?
This is way past the five languages book. This is just me overall learning about mental health and how I had to learn myself.
That's pretty interesting.
Mhm.
I'm happy you share this. That's kind of like that's going deeper than I thought, and I'm happy
Mhm.
you share this because not only it's somewhat in a vulnerable place, but people can actually relate. So if they see that in their partner, they can be like, "Oh, okay, could this potentially be?" Um, but okay. And do you see that as being a reason a spouse could get tired and kind of like leave? Let's just say it's the word of affirmation. It's like, you know what? I'm tired of like saying all that. Okay, I'm out.
I think everyone should have all five, to be honest. A healthy person should have all five equally. When you have one higher than the other, that's where we have to figure out where's the imbalance here. It will become an issue with the partner if the partner feels like they have to constantly do that for you, that particular love language. Like, for example, I figured out my love language when I was younger. It was acts of service. I like when people do things for me. I appreciate when they do things for me. But at this point in my life, it's not the number one. It would be nice if you do things for me, but I ain't gonna die if you don't. I like gifts too. I like to be touched on. You know, I like affection, but I'm not going to feel like you don't love me if you don't do these things.
Hmm.
So that's how I feel like when you're more healthy, you appreciate all five love languages.
Which is pretty important. A balance among these five is
Hmm.
kind of it's pretty healthy. That's what I'm getting. If you're saying you
Yeah,
need to get professional help, if it's like just one out of five type of stuff.
yeah, yeah. Like some tests I've seen, like they'll give you like a top two, maybe like 35% is a top one, the next one's like 28%. Then look at those top two, and then I think like the fifth one usually like at 5%, but the fifth one is usually not that bad. It's just the least of your priorities.
Mm, interesting. All right. I kind of like this. No, I really like this, and I'm happy you actually share it the way, I mean, lay it out the way you lay it out for us. Um, well, the one before the last question. Do you think love should last forever?
No,
Why?
I think the word should be commitment.
Commitment should last forever.
Hmm.
Okay.
um, when people say they're in love or they love their partner, it's usually based on serotonin and how happy you are. But if I'm mad at you, I'm not gonna say I love you. But I do know if I say I'm committed to staying with you, then I'm gonna have to stay. So that's why that's why it lasts forever. It's the choosing to be with that person every day. Because I may wake up and hate your guts that day, you know,
But
or
you're committed.
God fontetli, God gone, so I'm about to well. Je dis, ah, de pas là. But
Cheers,
but I
you.
know, but I know internally I love you, but I can love someone and still break up with them. But choosing to stay committed, that's where that's what I feel should last forever.
Mm, that's pretty cool. I like that. I'm not even going to elaborate on that. We'll get that in parler, papa. It shouldn't be love. It should be commitment. I totally
Yeah.
agree with you. Okay, so last but not least, when it comes to relationship, do you think women, I'm gonna be a little bit like direct, do you think women in general create this fantasy in their mind, right? And they just looking for a man or a partner to just like drop it in there and do that fantasy. Palav him. Then you kiss him give you.
What what kind of fantasy though?
Huh? Back on it.
What kind?
Back on it. So okay, let me explain. Say Cinderella, any Disney
Mm-hmm.
movie with a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
That Prince Charming and the whole nine yard. You're pas motto what happened after, the end, but that's another
Oh,
story. But do you think mentally women create this type of fantasy when it comes to what they look for in a man, what type of lifestyle they want to live, what a man should do? Do you think they mentally create that and actually seeking for a man to fulfill that in their life?
yes. They do create fantasies. Let's do this question next time.
Petito.
Because I want to elaborate on that. That's a great question. That's a great question.
Okay, perfect. I think we just we're gonna take it from there next time because I know you have like 2 minutes before you start your next show.
Yes.
Once again, thank you for your time. I really enjoyed the conversation. I love how you lay out everything. Once again, tell people how they can, get in touch with you when it comes to your services before you go.
Okay, so out of everything that I do, two things. S'il vous plaît, follow me on Instagram.
She needs
I
50
am
followers to
going.
10,000, folks. Make it happen tonight.
Yes, make it happen today. I need 50 followers to get me to 10K. 10K will allow me to make more money on Instagram.
Amen. We.
So help your sister out.
Right?
But no, yes, follow me on Instagram. This is where I have the link to all my other Instagram pages, so definitely do that. But number one thing, if you are a business owner here in the city and you're a Haitian, please join the chamber. Please join the Haitian chamber. You can go to www.ghacc.org, join the chamber, because we need to have a tally of all the business owners here in Orlando to be able to bring resources and funding to our community. This is why we want everyone to sign up to register so we can tell the city, tell the county how many we have so we can help you make more money.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
what's
what I
up.
cause
So
yes.
you accomplished two things today. You accomplished
Yes.
me going to be part of the of
Yay!
okay, and you also accomplished. I see a comment that say I'm going to follow. So right now you're probably missing like 48. Okay, so let's push to
Yes.
get her to 10,000. Congrats once again. We hope you get to 100,000, a million, so you can monetize the heck out of Instagram. With that being said, thank you again for coming and enjoy your other show, Ludwin.
Thank you. Have a good night,
Have a good
guys.
night. Bye bye.
Bye.